I vaporise cannabis 3 times a day. Smoking it is illegal.
Chris's ADHD diagnosis came 30 years too late. He says traditional treatments weren't effective and so has gone back to this. But this time round with the blessing of a doctor. You've effectively been self-medicating with cannabis for the past 15 years now, so half of your life. And you say it's been life-changing?
Yeah, absolutely. Cannabis had always been stigmatised. I always thought that I was doing something wrong, which I was in terms of the law, but morally and medically, maybe not so much. I'd use cannabis and go and clean my house. I'd use cannabis and do my schoolwork. It stopped me shouting out in class. It helped me sit still, and it just helped me focus and it helped me relax. I remember waking up after an 8-hour sleep one time in my mid-20s, ringing up my mates saying, "Hey, lads, I slept for 8 hours, can you believe it?" And I'd never had the ability to do that before.
And so it comes as no surprise, with years-long NHS waiting lists and a 400% rise in adults seeking a diagnosis since 2020. More people are turning private or to the black market to help ease their ADHD symptoms.
People are self-medicating because when you're deprived by the NHS of good choices, you're then making bad choices. The options of full medication are years and years and years away, and you need to survive until that time. It's supposed to be a target of 18 weeks. I laugh, it is laughable when you know that people are waiting years.
In the UK, over 2.5 million people have ADHD. It's a brain condition which causes difficulties with attention, hyperactivity and managing impulses. However, only about 8% in England are medicated for it. And it's thought 2 million people have ADHD, but without the official label, because of mistreatment and misdiagnosis. And so people are taking matters into their own hands, as witnessed by John Robson, whose business is booming. Medical cannabis, he says, is a last resort for desperate people.
What we've seen is an increase in demand from patients who suffer from psychiatry conditions, who are feeding back that the medication we are prescribing is helping them come off traditional medications, which sometimes can cause side effects, etc., and are aiding them in living a more normal life.
A government spokesperson told Sky News, "We know how vital it is to have timely diagnoses for ADHD, and we are committed to improving access to treatment and support following a diagnosis." While specialist clinicians can prescribe cannabis-based products for medicinal use, cannabis does remain controlled under Class B of the Misuse of Drugs Act. But despite this, illegal cannabis continues to plug the gap. Many are saying current services are failing to fill. Greater regulation and resources are needed now, more than ever. Sabah Chowdhury, Sky News.